This is the largest excavation site in Europe, situated in Germany, near the city of Cologne, or as the locals call it, Köln. What makes this massive pit intriguing is its content, lignite or brown coal, the most polluting form of coal. Intriguingly, this enormous lignite pit isn't just static, it's rapidly expanding. This might seem ordinary since mines are inherently about digging vast pits to uncover and extract resources such as coal. But here's the paradox: the coal pit's continuous expansion is unexpected. It arguably shouldn't be expanding or even be operational. The reasoning behind this is straightforward. Germany, like much of the globe, is committed to achieving carbon neutrality, an ambition incompatible with the expansion of their coal mining operations. While the rest of Europe is phasing out coal mines, Germany seems to be increasing theirs, a worrisome fact. However, what troubles me even more is the deliberate demolition of cities and vast natural landscapes to extend this pit just to obtain this particular type of coal. Surprisingly, this enormous coal pit is not alone. Adjacent to it are two more mines, which have also enlarged over recent decades. If you observe satellite imagery of these mines, you can vividly see how they've consumed cities and significant natural areas over the years. Residents here are being evicted from their ancestral homes, homes that have been in their families for countless generations. They essentially have no say in Germany's obsession with lignite. So why is Germany so fixated on this, willing to go to extreme measures to obtain it? What makes it so extraordinary? Here's the twist: this coal is exceptional for all the wrong reasons. Annually, this mine yields 30 to 35 million tons of lignite. There's a wide range of coal types, and lignite ranks as the worst. It's not just one of the worst, it is the absolute worst. The reason being that brown coal has the lowest energy yield per ton, which essentially means Germany has to mine and burn a significantly larger amount of this coal compared to any other type to achieve similar energy output, making it the most polluting coal type by a long shot. It's astounding that an eco-conscious country like Germany opts to extract and utilize the most detrimental type of coal. Why not, at a minimum, mine a better kind of coal? Well, it's because they don't really have other alternatives, and also because it's inexpensive. The process is rather simple. You locate a city with lignite beneath it, dismantle it entirely, extract the coal, and then transport that coal via railway to power plants, where it is burned to produce heat and electricity for German households. It's affordable, dependable, and ethically sourced. Well, perhaps the last part isn't exactly accurate. If you disregard your citizens' homes and the climate, this is a viable choice. But, as you might guess, it comes with its own set of problems. For instance, Germany holds the dubious distinction of being the largest emitter of carbon dioxide in all of Europe. Yes, Germany is also the most populous country in Europe, which undeniably factors into this ranking. But the prime contributor is coal. Specifically, coal is utilized for 20% of Germany's energy generation, which is tenfold higher than its neighboring country, France. This is one reason why climate change was such a hot-button issue in this year's German elections. Although German politicians had already marked a date for the end of coal, originally set for 2038, a time that seemed ridiculously distant compared to other European nations, this has now been revised to 2030. When you compare this to France's 2022 target or Italy's 2024 target, it comes across as quite unambitious, at least from the perspective of other European nations with more ambitious climate goals. What's possibly even worse, although it's hard to fathom, is that lignite contains mercury and sulfur, which can lead to the formation of acid rain. That's not something anyone would desire. Believe me, the words acid and rain in the same sentence are always cause for alarm. Personally, I think that's a compelling reason to avoid mining lignite. But perhaps it's not all doom and gloom. After all, how many lignite power plants could Germany actually be operating? If you consider the companies that emitted the most carbon dioxide in the European Union in 2018, you'll find Ryanair in the top 10, along with a power plant in Poland, one in Bulgaria, and then, coincidentally, the remaining 7 companies on this list happen to be brown. Power plants fueled by brown coal in Germany make up the remainder of the list, which is a glaring indication that something is amiss. And things are indeed going awry for Germany, as this year, the government was compelled to revise its climate law, following a ruling from the country's Supreme Court that the existing law was woefully inadequate in meeting climate objectives, thereby essentially imperiling the fundamental rights and freedoms of the nation's youth. It sounds preposterous, but the reality is even more bizarre. The company spearheading this mining operation in Western Germany insists it's a necessity. And in their defense, referencing the earlier graph, it seems they may have a point. If Germany abruptly decided to eliminate coal as an energy source, they would need to replace 20% of their total energy requirements from an alternate source. That's easier said than done, since renewable energy sources, such as wind turbines and solar panels, can't be installed immediately. However, there is another form of energy that's readily scalable and carbon neutral, a source that Germany has tapped into before, but inexplicably turned away from 3 decades ago. As some of you might have surmised, this is where nuclear energy enters the discussion. Over the past 30 years, Germany has been gradually phasing out nuclear and is on track to eliminate it entirely from their energy supply by 2022. The question arises, why have they taken this approach? After all, their neighbors in France are generating over 70% of their energy from nuclear and are increasing that percentage rather than reducing it. This leads us to the next point. Just a decade ago, nuclear power constituted nearly a quarter of Germany's electricity, eerily similar to the current percentage generated by coal. As the mining firm points out, eliminating an energy source requires a substitute, ideally replacing non-renewable sources with renewable ones. However, Germany seems to have veered from that path. Interestingly, over the past 30 years, environmental activists have advocated for nuclear energy's removal, an ironic twist given that what replaced it is arguably worse. After the Fukushima disaster in 2011, Chancellor Angela Merkel had to decide, keep nuclear or phase it out. The fallout of her choice is evident in the displaced families and devastated natural landscapes. Was it the right decision? That's for you to ponder. If Germany doesn't find an energy solution, they risk becoming a massive excavation site. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe if you enjoyed this video.